other joints, wherever you are checking out my show from. Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my best tonight to make some sense out of all the nonsense. But first, I need you to do me a little favor here. This number right here on the screen is 330-974-4607. If you would text MAGA to that number, this way, just in case the man jump on my back like a spider monkey and start messing with me and my ability to, of course, make sense out of all this nonsense, then you can be informed and I can let you know where I'm at, what's going on, just in case I disappear, something happens like that. But you can also subscribe to my alternative channel, which will keep you in play if just in case this one gets shut down for whatever reason. And there is also Rumble as well. So there's multiple ways. So you have no excuse to say, I don't know whatever happened to Kev from Kevin's Corner. He just disappeared and didn't even let us know nothing. He ain't let us know nothing. Well, you can figure that out by just simply texting that to me. Also, somebody said, how am I feeling? Thank you so much. Well, I'm feeling better, but yet not all the way better, if that's a proper answer. Yeah, I don't know. I just got a pain in my ribs, man. My ribs. So I got to get them checked out. I don't know if it's my ribs. I don't know what's going on, but it's on the right side. And, I want to be able to get in the ring and go to work if I have to. I don't want to be worried about a kidney shot or something like that. So it's been bothering me, but it is what it is. Been fighting through it. And they're making me go get a sonogram or something. I don't know what it is. Ultrasound. Who knows? But they're going to let me know what's going on the inside. But other than that, everything looks to be fine. And, I deal with it. See, I figure like this. I don't feel pain because it's all in the mind, and what's mine is mine and yours is mine. Yeah, I got to go Onyx on them. Onyx. So it is what it is. And we'll find out what the verdict is and very soon. But getting back to this, you can always help me out just in case. I have some crazy medical bills that YouTube ain't trying to help a brother pay. I'm doing my little monthly fundraiser, and some of you have already jumped in knee deep to help out with that, and I appreciate it. Last month we did wonderfully, and this month, let's see if we can do even better. So you can do that by helping out. There is a link right below this live stream that you can click on, and it'll go straight to my monthly fundraiser, and anything you want to donate to help out with the channel would be greatly appreciated. And let me see if there's anything else that I might have forgotten about. I think I covered everything. So let's get ready to get into this, man, because I got a couple little subjects we need to discuss before I really dive into what's going on with this House speaker race and all of that stuff. So let me get loose. See, I can even still move a little bit with the pain in the rib. Let me see something. Okay, let me see if I can do the shimmy. Okay. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. Now, one thing I did want to mention to you all, which is wonderful. Right before my last show, I was venting about how YouTube tries to play little games and not let a man know who all have subscribed to his channel or not. And a lot of people had just subscribed and they were letting me know so I can go into my back office and check and make sure you were really subscribed. So if you're a new subscriber, please let me know in the comments. This way, I can always go back and say, all right, now I don't see you in the queue and hold YouTube accountable because I'm telling you, they're playing some games. Now, with no further ado, y'all, before we get in to some of the meat and potatoes, we got us a public announcement for the cupcake generation, boys and girls. That's right, man. We are raising a cupcake generation. Not us, y'all. But our government and our leaders, because they want power and they don't care about the cost to the country and how it might impact our future and our future generations to come, they have invoked a lot of stupidity into our college universities to produce future Marxists, future communists, things like that. Future fascists, the ones that are running around accusing everybody of fascism, Marxism, all that mess. These folks have been produced on college campuses, y'all. So we better listen to this public announcement from, I think, Penn State. She's talking to the cupcake generation. So here we go. Let's see what she got to say.
I have no doubt that we will once again encounter speakers that many will consider controversial.
Okay.
Either because their views are not widely held, or because a speaker espouses ideas that are actively hateful.
Or could it be because this is a free country and people need to hear all types of ideas and be able to cope with it? Okay. How about you sift it like wheat? Huh? That's all my thing is sift it like wheat. Take pieces of it that you actually say, somebody said Buff Daddy again. Oh, well, yeah, thank you for letting me know that up front so we can go ahead and take care of that. Yeah. Let me let the Wi-Fi kick in. I forgot I ain't have a Wi-Fi on. Give it a second. Give it 1 second. Delicious. All right. That should be it. That might have taken about 15, 20 seconds for the Wi-Fi to kick in. I want my 15 seconds at the end of the show, too. All right. Now, getting back to this lady right here, who is laying the groundwork to brace their students for impact because they got the nerve to bring on a woman on campus, Kylie, I forget her last name, but she was the swimmer who raced against the dude with the big hands and the big feet, big shoulders and the big Adam's apple. That guy raced against him. Well, they decided to bring her on campus. So to prep all of the cupcakes, she had to go ahead and do a service announcement to get them ready to embrace, adversity, real tough challenges, like listening to people who maybe have a different opinion of theirs, things like that. I would think she would impute problem-solving skills first. Like, hey, how about this? How about you go and not listen? How about you go somewhere else? How about you go to study? How about you focus on things that's really going to help you in the future? But here she goes now. She's warming them up, y'all. I don't understand why. Holly Rains or something like that. I don't understand why in the world would you send your kid to college? Unless my kid got a full ride for some sports activity. Other than that, I'm homeschooling. I'd be like, nah, son, I know you're 23, but I'm going to be teaching you biochemistry right here in the house.
I share the concern of those who believe the messages spread by some individuals are not only offensive, but deeply hurtful.
Deeply hurtful.
And again, I stand in unity with those who condemn such speakers and their rhetoric.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings, deeply hurtful. Have y'all ever been hurt deeply on the inside from people who you don't even know? I mean, I can see if it was a family member whose opinion you really valued and they said something to you. If that was the case, I would have never grew up. My Uncle Ron always was up my butt when it came down to criticism. Boy, you ain't worth a nickel. Boy, you can't do nothing. Boy, go over there and put that order. Boy, look at you. You don't know what you're doing. Boy, get your butt. Dang on it. I would have never made it into adulthood. I would have been on somebody's couch right now shaking and scratching. But hey, how about you take it like a grain of salt and let it roll off your back? If I could take that from loved ones, surely folks you ain't never met might have a different opinion of you or something you believe in, and you just go, no, and you move on. But here she's talking about deeply hurt. Deeply. Okay, so let's continue hearing about this deep hurtfulness.
You may ask, if so many individuals, including the president of the university, find these speakers so objectionable, why can't we just ban them from our campuses? First, as a public university.
Well, you hear that? If we find it so hurtful, why can't we just ban it? Why can't we ban it from our public universities? Because the law won't let us. That's the only reason. That's it. The law won't let us because, trust me, if it was up to them, they would. See, they don't want to get the heat that will come down on that university if they start banning people because we haven't fully moved into Marxism yet. We haven't fully moved into, communism. But trust us, students, relax, it's coming. If you just be patient, maybe if we can slide in another Joe Biden term or somebody like him, then we'll be able to do that in the next couple of years. So just hold your horses. For now, I got to get out there and lie to you all and make y'all think these are the reasons why we can't fully just ban people from coming and saying hurtful things.
Penn Penn State University is bound by the First Amendment. What does this mean? The First Amendment is the law in our country that protects citizens from government censorship or punishment for speech or ideas.
Well, it don't seem to be working too well when it comes down to the Democrat Party at this point. They don't care nothing about that mess, and neither do you, lady. See, I would think that she would say, well, the reason is because I believe in the First Amendment, and the First Amendment is important, okay? Free speech, everybody is entitled to. But it's kind of like, you know what? The law. The law won't allow us. I mean, it's this pesky thing called the First Amendment that bounds us. Now, what she's doing actually is trying to appease all of the radical students that they are producing on the college campus. And at the same time, try to make an excuse of why we're allowing this to happen, but really we don't support it. Really, we don't support it. We just have to. So don't get mad at us. Don't get mad at us. And it's a shame that a university like Penn State has to come out and give a full-blown info commercial about the First Amendment and freedom of speech. I mean, what the heck? What kind of students and young adults are we raising where you got to go ahead and give them a sermon, a mini lesson on the First Amendment?
That the government does not approve. Without the First Amendment, your access to information would be threatened. Your voice could be censored or silenced, and your internet use could be filtered. We
Like
often
ours?
asked, why do these speakers have to receive money from funding boards when a student group brings them to campus? Again, remember, student boards are part of our public institution, which means a government-funded entity. And these boards must allocate funding in a manner that is viewpoint neutral.
See, and notice, she's giving a lot of reasons why, but not a real moral reason why. It's not one of those things. So someone said, no cartoons, no listening. Yeah, it's not a moral reason why. It's not because it's right. It's because, you know what, we have to do it. You know, it's greater than us. UK in the house. Hey, I got somebody who decided, even though it's cold outside, wait, they stopped. They were just doing some lawn work, and I'm thinking it's almost dark and it's cold outside. Why are you out there right now doing lawn work? I can hear you from here. It's driving me nuts, man. Driving me nuts. It's back. You hear it? You hear it? It's back. You know what I'm going to do? As you're finishing listening to this lady right here who I sped up her voice for the sake of time, I'm going to close that window over there. Driving me crazy. But yeah, she's not saying we need to do this because it is right and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's, you know what? We have to. It's greater than us. The government makes us do it.
Second reason we permit these speakers to come to our campuses, the moral one. For centuries,
Okay.
higher education has fought against censorship, believing that the best way to combat bad ideas is with better ideas. Bad speech with more speech.
There she go. Now she's getting into the moral stuff. All right, just a moral issue, the way to combat. Now, where was all this morality for the last 6 years or so when all of these speakers were being attacked and silenced on college campuses? When they were figuring out all kind of dirty little ways to stop them. So now she's talking about it's a moral issue. Well, they tried to prevent Riley from actually going to the campus to speak. Yeah, they tried to come up with something right before she got there, y'all. Talking about your paperwork wasn't filed on time. Something went wrong in processing. I don't know. What? Oh, you're still coming. So all of that morality went out the window. And the right to combat free speech. Bad ideas with good ideas. Well, let's see how that all worked out. Let's see if the people on the campus actually internalized what she was saying and really respect the First Amendment. But I want you to do one thing further. Understand these people right here are one day going to be running our country, influencing our country somehow. This is what the universities are producing. So let's see how that moral speech filtered into the students and see how they react to her. Trans lives matter. Here she is. Now, see what kills me is that back in the day, you could not co-op the whole Black Lives Matter thing. You couldn't co-op it because if you said white lives matter or all lives matter, they would have a fit. They would have a fit. But there is a group of people who they're the highest pecking order right there, and that's the trans community. So you can do pretty much what you want to do. So they just straight came in. Now all of a sudden, it's anything that we feels is our priority, it now matters, and they can just co-opt the Black Lives Matter and just insert whatever term they want in there. So now it's trans lives matter, but nobody's mad about that. We're all the Black Lives Matter. And so you can't use that. That's exclusively for black people. But now we got trans lives matter. And you would think that women's rights matter because this woman is on campus trying to defend women's rights. But let's see how the students who are radical, but yet inclusive. Yeah, they're radical, but inclusive. Let's see how they feel.
Wonderfully ironic, because if we're going to talk about inclusion,
Look how tolerant they are.
that is what inclusion looks like. Not this. So what I say to them is, what about us? What about me? What about my little sister? I'm even fighting for these women who seem to be sitting here protesting me. I'm fighting for them. I'm fighting for their equal opportunity. I'm fighting for y'all's daughter. That's what this is about.
I love you, Riley. I love you too. But not those future radical students right there. They don't love her. See, those students right there don't even want to hear anything opposite of their ideology. They are 100% bought in when it comes down to these radical positions. They're not even willing to stop for 1 second to say, well, let me listen to what she's saying. If I was in that crowd, I would be so mad. If I was just a kid walking by and I said, who is this lady? And I'm sitting there trying to hear her, and all I hear is, man. I'll be like, hey, man, hey, could you shut up so I can hear what she's saying, so I can formulate an opinion? Well, that's the whole thing. We don't want you to hear what she has to say. See, because that's inclusivity. That's inclusivity. See, that's how we include everybody, by making us all think the same way we think. So now you would think they would be fighting for women's rights, but nope. Here are the brainwashed kids that come out with masks on for some reason. Now, why is it when they come out to protest? Up jump the boogie. Always got to come with masks and stuff so they can do their fascism. See, here we go. Look at this guy.
You're anti-trans. You're a piece of Hey, I love women.
Look at him.
You! I love you too, bro. Well, I don't love you, all right? Hey, Jesus loves you, all right?
Jesus loves you, right? But I don't like you, bro. You see that kid walking around with that molette? You see that raggedy molette hanging off the back of his head? See? And looking at the camera because he's like, oh, I'm about to go ahead and get me a sound bite. That's tolerance right there. That guy said, I love you, bro. Well, I don't love you. That's somebody's kid. Somebody raised this radical kid right there, and all these kids protesting for whatever reason don't have to go now to take the mask off. So let's see how this radical, angry young man fares as he decides, I'm going to get physical. I feel so passionate about this. I'm about to get physical.
Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter.
Look at him. Waste of education. Face is covered. Face is covered. Waste of education. Out there talking about trans lives matter. You know, I'm telling you, I would love to see like a group of big, gigantic soul brothers, black folks come out there talking about, we're here to defend women's rights when it comes down to this transgender stuff right here. All of them about 6'8", swole up, tattooed up, looking mad for something. Not mad for nothing, mad for something. And I like to see all these little skinny, mostly Caucasian and, you know, one black girl right there come out talking about stuff. You know what, you're fascist. You know, I don't like you, big dude. You think they would do that? You think they would do that? See, when it comes down to these little Pop-Tarts, they feel safe to do this. One, because our society has made them think they have the privilege and the right to be aggressive when it comes down to their opinions. Yeah, we don't have to listen to you. We can come up to you and be aggressive when we confront you. Shout you down, go ahead and put my hands on your property and stuff like that. And two, we want to see people who look relatively passive. We don't want no hardcore people out there. We don't want no people out there looking like, hey, man, you touch this table right here, I'm going to grab you by that hand and sling you around all the way back up to that building in the back. See, they don't want that kind of action. So they go up to people who they think we could get away with this type of display. See, I would love for one of them kids to come up to my face talking about that. Yeah, I don't like you. Look at it. Should be studied. Oh, look at it. Look at this. That's tolerance right there. Look at that. All that tolerance.
There will be children.
Yeah. Like a big kid.
No, you're not.
Transphobic.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
Why
Look
should I
at
be
this.
transphobic?
You are
Transphobic.
transphobic. What the sign you're holding right now, huh? Get this shit out.
Now see? Y'all see that? Now, that girl can be identified through the worms that's coming out the top of her head right there. See those little yellow or brownish worms? Now, somebody's parents should be looking like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that my, I know those worms. I know those worms. Honey, start the car. We're heading down to Penn State to grab her by those worms, put her in the back of the car, and bring her straight to the crib. Out there with that big mask on, glasses over the mask, looking completely dumb. Out there talking about you're transphobic. Transphobic. And then got the nerve to start. Stuff like that. Do you think anybody is going to listen to you and be sympathetic to your cause when you're acting like a kid throwing a temper tantrum? Let's see how this all works out for these little radicals that the college campuses are producing. Look at that.
Camera, right?
Calm down.
What?
What? Now, you know why? You know why the little worm-haired girl is doing that? Because she's black and she's a woman, and she knows that if this white man smacks that mask completely off my face or snatches those worms out my head, they will have Al the Sharpton down here. They will have every single black race-baiting person, all of CNN, MSNBC, every Democrat down there. This, once again, is a display of the radicalism coming from the right. Because this girl with the worms in her hair happens to be a black girl that started getting physical with them. And then somebody reacts, and then all of a sudden, they're getting thrown in a slammer and called a white nationalist. So here she is provoking folks and exercising her black privilege at this point. See, that's what this is called, black privilege. I can do whatever. So let's see what happens.
You're trying to
Tell
Hey,
people who don't
police
have
down
better
here, please.
ideas, behave.
Let's go.
Yeah, she's tough, y'all. Tough kids.
Nobody's attacking you.
Those worms. Yeah, she mad. She told them, y'all. She told them. Her and the dude with the mullet. Where y'all going? Uh-oh.
Girl, the guy at the back. Just went over
Oh, somebody's walking away. Where they going?
with the backpack
Where you going?
and the
Wait a minute. No. Where was everybody going? They was just up there knocking stuff all around a second ago. Now here come the boys. Don't sound so tough now.
Don't touch me like
Don't
that.
touch
Are
me
we
like
being
that.
detained? Are we being
Can you
detained?
let go of me?
Are we being arrested?
Can you let go
Are
of
we being
me?
detained?
Don't touch me.
Are we being detained?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Am I being arrested?
Teach them a lesson.
Okay, you can put it in the back.
I just don't want it spilling all
All
over.
right.
Yeah. Lock them up.
Being arrested.
Disorderly conduct right now.
All right. What's that mean?
Why are they being arrested? Maybe you didn't see what they were doing over there. Destruction of property, hands on other people's stuff because they don't understand how society works. This is the unraveling of our society. And if we don't get a handle on it real soon, this at some point will become the norm. Right now, some of these people could still receive a black eye if they go too far or get thrown in jail. But if we keep producing people like this, at some point, it's going to be where this is a accepted normal behavior towards anybody who disagrees with the narrative. And the government, the media, Democrats are all working very hard to bring this reality to fruition. They are really working hard. They make excuses for these people, and they got all these institutions that breed this type of mentality. And you know what else? See, dumb politicians are doing this. And then these dumb politicians are also making decisions for our lives, y'all. Now, I don't want a dummy in charge. I don't want a dumb politician making decisions for my life. An emotional, impulsive, angry politician. These kids right here could become future politicians. You think they're going to be tolerant? You think they're going to take a second to see all sides and really internalize it and say, before I make a decision, before I pass a bill, before I pass a law, I want to make sure I understand everything. You think they're going to do that? Or is it going to be like the Democrats? Because here's Joe Biden and his whole crew making decisions, or at least trying to make decisions about a Second Amendment. So now we got the First Amendment under attack. Now we got the Second Amendment under attack. These are the people, y'all, that want to make decisions about your life, man. Second Amendment.
So please welcome the President of the United
Who?
States,
Who, me?
Joe Biden.
You.
Who in God's name needs a weapon with 100 rounds in a chamber?
Y'all hear that? That man's qualified to make decisions about your God-given rights. Oh, in God's name. What did he say?
A weapon with 100 rounds in a chamber.
100 rounds in the chamber, y'all. That guy. Now, see, you would think when it comes down to extremely life-changing decisions, you should be an expert at it. We should not be taking the opinions and giving the authority of people who say things like that. Somebody said, how many rounds? 100 rounds in a chamber.
A weapon with 100 rounds in a chamber.
Yeah, you shouldn't have 100 rounds in the chamber. I concur, Joe, because that would be dangerous and impossible. That's what that would be. Instead of racking one round, I need 100 rounds, and I'm going to shoot them all at once. So this guy, let's see what else. Some brilliant ideas and stuff that he brings to gun legislation.
Made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces.
Braces.
Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun.
Put a pistol on a brace, and that sucker turns into a gun. It ain't a gun until you put a pistol on the brace. Okay, see, it's not you even put the brace on the pistol. You got to put the pistol on the brace to turn it into a gun. That guy wants to get our guns.
Makes it more, you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that.
Higher caliber bullet coming out of that bad boy. That brace right there will take a small 22 caliber and turn it into like a 50 caliber.
That gun. It's essentially turning it into a short barrel rifle.
That's what it'll do. Turn that handgun into a short barrel rifle, even though there's no facts, data, anything. But that guy wants our guns. This dude's coming after our guns, and people like him. Listen to this brilliant idea.
Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here, or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun, and fire two blasts outside the house.
Now, this guy is going to keep us safe, yo. He can't even give his wife solid advice about staying safe. He would get Jill killed. This man's advice would get Jill killed. Listen, Jill. If anybody approaches, you go out on the patio and you fire with that double barrel shotgun, 2 rounds blasted to the air. Then you're left with none because you only got 2 rounds. Yeah, and then at that point, you're pretty much done for. That's the guy. Him and his whole party wants to make decisions about the Second Amendment. What else?
I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to. You don't need an AR-15.
Sound like she does. Yeah. See, so after the person watch you shoot both of your shotgun rounds with your double barrel, they're going to go, you got anything left in that? No? Okay, cool. I need you to get on the patio right here. All right. Where's Joe's Corvette? I'm taking everything. This guy. So you would think that if people relinquish their power over to people like this and say, man, I trust you. I trust that when you bring a bill to the floor or you get up there and campaign on something, you've done your due diligence and you know exactly what you're talking about because the decisions you're trying to make could change my life. I would think people would expect this out of politicians. But this is the quality of politicians that the Democrats are producing and then wanting to make decisions about your life. Check this out.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round.
Y'all hear that? Now that's profound right there. My legislation says there can't be no more than 8 bullets in a round because it's impossible. I agree with that legislation, Joe, because it's impossible. There you go. See, even Democrat voters who are gun owners should be embarrassed because these are the people that at some point will betray you. They don't care if you're a Democrat voter or not. They want guns. Let's continue hearing about these very informed politicians making these choices.
Okay. And in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself.
You don't?
Buy a shotgun.
By the way, I'm not. I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.
Oh, you're stupid. You're stupid, Joe. Yeah, this proves it. Look. Where am I? Get your butt over here, Joe. Get over here. And he's not the only one. He's not the only one. These are Democrats, y'all, that want to make decisions over our lives. Now, why do you think these folks who don't know anything about guns want to get our guns? What's it in it for them? What made them one day wake up and develop this strong desire to go after certain types of guns or a particular gun when in reality, you ask them questions like this or you expose them, they don't even know anything about the gun. Could it be people greater than them that have put this on the agenda and said, just get out there and push this legislation, push this talking point, push this idea, all of that? Because we got a large population of Americans that's standing in the way of our tyranny. See, we want to go ahead and clear the pathway for those little bubblehead students you just saw out there knocking people's stuff over. Eventually, they're going to be running our country. And, they can fight. They know nothing about guns. We need to get the guns from the real folks. So now here's Sheila Jackson with this big donut on the back of her head telling us about AR-15s.
I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes.
10 boxes.
Moving. And the bullet that is utilized,
is
50 caliber, these kinds of bullets,
50 calibers,
need to be licensed and do not need to be on the streets.
Y'all hear
90% of the people want background checks. Over 60% want a ban on assault weapons. 80% plus want.
Where are you getting those numbers, huh, Toots? Where are you getting those numbers, Toots? So here she is out there talking about all these people want background. We already got background checks. Number two, you're talking about all these people want background checks, and what else you just said? Donut on the back of the head?
They want a ban on assault.
Ban on assault weapons. Now, are you talking about real assault weapons? Because there is a ban on, like, the military. They have their own weapons. Because, see, your definition of assault weapons done brainwash a lot of people to think that it is the AR-15. When in reality, assault weapons is any weapon you use to assault somebody. But yeah, she's saying 60% want a ban on assault weapons.
80% plus want red flag laws. And I would venture to say those numbers would be similar for storage laws and for licensing laws regarding the question of firearms and ammunition. And finally, interestingly enough, Americans support the buyback program, which
there it is.
Have in our respective communities.
There it is. Americans support the buyback program. Buyback what? How'd that work out for the Australians when they forced them to buy back the guns? Now, why can you buy back something you didn't pay for? What is that? I mean, the government didn't pay for the guns. You buy the guns and then they say, we'll buy them back from you. Well, wait a minute. You never bought them in the first place. I bought those. So those Australians fell for the buyback program, and where to get them? Hello, mate. We think you might have the virus. We're going to go ahead and put you in this concentration camp, aye? Don't look that way. That's what it got them. It got them a lot of that. But here she is talking about the buyback program because, see, that's where they're going with this. So, and look at these other Democrats. So that woman who knows nothing about that AR-15 is as heavy as 10 boxes and it shoots a 50 caliber. And now she's talking about buyback programs and legislation for guns that she don't even know anything about. Look. Let's go down a quick montage of Democrats say the dumbest things about guns.
Them automatic weapons are not just about gun control. This is about national security. You know that these weapons can shoot down airplanes. They can blow up railroads.
You hear Jesse the Jackson? These here weapons could shoot down airplanes and they can blow up railroads. Did you know that? Did you know AR-15s can shoot down airplanes and blow up railroads?
February, you introduced the Assault Weapons Ban and Law Enforcement Protection Act of 2007. It would regulate semi-automatic assault weapons, including weapons that have pistol grips, a forward grip, and something called a barrel shroud. Weapons with a barrel shroud would be regulated. What's a barrel shroud, and why should we regulate it?
I actually don't know what a barrel shroud is.
Because it's in your legislation.
Shoulder thing that goes up.
There you go. Put that mess in your legislation, and you have no idea what it is. I actually don't know what a barrel shroud is, but it's in my... Understand how incompetent these people sound? It's very clear that somebody else is behind this agenda because these people are not astute on the subject. So now she is don't even know what a barrel shroud is, but she's like, that's in my legislation. She probably shocked. And that's in there? I didn't read it. I just told me, hey, go out there and support this legislation. Here's some more.
But some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it.
Like what?
Which is a heat-seeking device.
Heat-seeking bullets, y'all. Boy, when are those coming out? I go to the gun store almost every other day. Next time I go, I'm going to embarrass myself by asking for those heat-seeking bullets. I was watching one of the people on TV that wants gun legislation pushed. You wouldn't happen to have heat-seeking bullets, would you? What? Yes, heat-seeking bullets. Son, where'd you hear that from? One of the Democrats? That's your problem. Heat-seeking bullets. But hey, here we go.
We have federal regulations and state laws that prohibit hunting ducks with more than 3
Hunting
rings.
ducks, y'all.
And yet it's legal to hunt humans.
Did y'all know it was legal to hunt humans? So, man, you know, if I'm a bubblehead, I'm sitting there saying, oh, wait a minute, you telling me they can hunt ducks? It's illegal to hunt ducks, but it's legal to hunt humans? Democrats, man. And these are the people who want to take your guns, y'all.
This amendment is in the Constitution so that we can have muskets when the British people come over in 1800.
There's been a lot of people that have been shot by an unloaded gun.
Oh, hear that one? That was profound. Democrats, there's been a lot of people who have been shot by an unloaded gun. Did y'all ever get shot by an unloaded gun? That's amazing. They don't even know exactly what's coming out of their head. They don't even stop to go, that didn't make no sense. They didn't even catch it. Many people shot by an unloaded gun.
At some point, we as a country will have to reckon with the fact that this type of mass violence does not happen in other advanced countries.
Yeah, we're the only one. We're this mass violence, right? So here's this guy. Check this out right here. This is special.
Ghost gun.
Ghost gun.
This right here has ability with a 30 caliber clip.
30 caliber clip.
To disperse with 30 bullets within half a second.
Woo! I want one of them guns. Oh, 30 caliber clip? That can dispense 30 bullets in a half a second. Boy, where can I get one of these magical guns right here? These ghost guns that don't exist. So, you hear that? California State Senator Kevin De Leon. That's right, man. That man dropping knowledge.
And I cannot tell you how many times we have been fearful of letting our animals out.
Fearful of letting animals
all
out.
of these law-abiding
Law-abiding citizens
are shooting back and forth in front of our house or behind our house and around our house.
What the? Where you live, lady? You hear this lady up here pushing fake news? Talking about something, we're scared to let our animals out because all these law-abiding citizens are just having a full-blown old school Wild Wild West shootout around our house. No police coming to stop this. They're out there like Yosemite. I'm the most ruthless, tooting and shooting. They out there like clack, clack, bling, bling, bling. Unbelievable. You got to keep your pets up. I need to know where she lives. But wait, there's more.
You can walk down the streets in an American city carrying a concealed weapon without a license is wacky.
Well, I didn't say without a license. I think.
I'm talking about that's what's going on. I'm talking about a different point here.
Different point.
I want to see people
Because you don't want to talk about the real point.
I want people disarmed in our major cities. How's that for a plan? The pair of you would like to have the right to have a tank. You don't agree with us?
The girls are giving it to him.
And you know something? It makes me sick when I hear people say that kind of thing.
You hear that? That's how Democrats argue about gun legislation, y'all. Blah, 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 la, 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 la. I can't hear you. You're stupid. You know what? You're a poopy head. You know what? It's my show. Shut up. That's how they argue gun legislation. Oh, wait, there's more. Remember this guy right here? They coming after that little arm brace that Joe Biden was talking about. They could turn a pistol into a gun. If you put the pistol on the brace, it turns to a gun, and it pretty much turns the gun into a rifle after that. So now, let's hear what Massey got to say, because they want that brace.
A rise in opposition to the amendment. What this stabilizing brace, which is depicted here, when attached here, it turns this weapon into an automatic weapon. This becomes a bump stock.
Wow.
And so it will allow that to essentially be fired like an automatic weapon. That's the danger of it. So I have to very strongly oppose the amendment.
Opposing stuff you don't know nothing about. Who sent this dude out there with the big blown up illustration? Probably walking into Congress while they're trying to explain it to him. Like, hey, look, man, don't give me. I know what I'm talking about. Well, sir, can we at least help you show? Because you're going to have to explain this. Look, wait, I can figure it out based on a picture. Now that right there, that yellow thing is yellow, and it's designed to do something. It looks like it's connected to his arm, where I'm assuming that thing right there will make the gun shoot faster. And see, this is what's coming. This is what's out there right now coming after your guns.
The Democrats are so zealous in their rush to ban everything related to guns and every gun that exists that I'm afraid Mr. Cicilline has his gun features mixed up. He just described the arm brace, which is used by people who have a handicap to help fire a pistol.
What?
He just described it as a bump stock. It's neither a stock nor a bump stock.
1, don't you feel dumb? 2, look at you. So now he gets the major pain moment of the day. That man just said it turned into a bump stock. Now I wonder how he feels. I wonder if he's embarrassed. He should be. All the cameras should go and turn to him and zoom in right on his face, close up, so you can see the sweat dripping off of him, see him looking around, see him sliding down, see him trying to get out. I gotta go pee. Anything to get out of that embarrassing moment, because this guy wants a brace removed that he doesn't even know what it is and what it does.
And I think it's important that if you're going to ban these things, that you actually understand what you're banning.
Thank you.
Is the picture that he showed, everybody needs to know, is not a bump stock. It's an arm brace for firing a pistol from the wrist. And
but he doesn't care.
It's not made to increase the rate of fire of the firearm. It's not made to simulate automatic fire.
None of that.
It's made to stabilize.
Somebody said I'm buffering like a mother. Okay, talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. See, went back and tried to give my my other device a second chance, and it looks like it's betrayed me. Am I buffering? Because if I am, somebody tell me. Let me see something here. Let me go over here. Because we can't have that now, can we? What the heck? Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. I'm checking on my side and see. Somebody said no. So if I am buffering, just refresh your screen. See if that helps. Okay, now somebody said I see you out of sync, so my voice is not matching up. Then you got people saying I'm fine. I don't understand. So I'm gonna have to go with I'm fine for now. So now you hear the embarrassment that these people should be suffering. This is amazing to me that they have the boldness to come out there and push this type of legislation and know nothing about it, as if nobody's going to check their work. But that man went out there and said, let's get rid of these dang on braces.
The grip of a pistol.
The NRA.
Oh, this is the best.
Their pro-gun policies have resulted in dead children, dead mothers, and dead fathers.
Tough guy. This right here is going to close us out on our dumb Democrats don't know anything about guns but want to get your gun segment. So that guy right there opens up his little campaign that lasted about 35 seconds talking about some F the NRA. That's right. Look at that. He's edgy.
I'm Pat Davis.
I'm Pat
and I
Davis.
approve this message.
And I just ruined my
because
career.
if Congress won't change our gun laws, we're changing Congress.
Yeah.
So that's the ad, F the NRA? Kind of moronic, no? That's it, just 15 seconds, but it got a whole lot of attention and started a new conversation about guns, and I'm grateful for that. But doesn't it degrade you? I mean, you use the F word in an ad. I mean, if you have a position, state it, but F the NRA? I mean, come on. So here's your latest 15-second ad.
Okay, here's his
By
latest.
the time this ad is done, an AR-15 could have fired 150 bullets. That's why we need to ban assault weapons.
Well, man, somebody go get me one of them ARs. By the time this ad is over, 15 seconds, an AR could have fired 150 bullets. Now, my AR that holds 30 rounds, I'm trying to think. Okay, 30 rounds. I dropped that magazine, put another one, that's 60. Then I dropped that one, put another, that's 90. Man, it's going to take a while for me to get to 150. Can you give me the magazine that holds 150 rounds, please? Now you're going to make me embarrass myself again at the man store by asking for the magazine and the AR that allows me to shoot 150 rounds in 15 seconds. I was watching this guy on TV named Pat something Merjigger, and he said that I could come and get an AR that fires. Now this is the guy. He was running for something, but his career got destroyed right here by Tucker.
I'm Pat Davis, running for Congress, and I approve this message because lives are more important than gun company profits.
So you just said that in 15 seconds, an AR-15 can fire 150 rounds.
Right.
Is that true?
That's right. That's right.
Well, how would that work
right here
exactly?
right here in New Mexico, you can go to a parking lot or go on the internet, buy an assault weapon, an AR-15, and buy a legally available add-on that, like a bump stock, that allows you to replicate exactly what happened in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas shooter.
Now that man who just said F the NRA, he's feeling good on Tucker's right now. Yeah, he's real confident. That's right. See, let me tell you something. You go on. He's feeling good about this. Tucker just asking, why was you cussing, man? Sometimes you got to get radical. Sometimes you got to be confrontational. You understand that, Tucker? So now Tucker's about to give him a dose of his own medicine.
Wait, hold on. No, wait. Are you saying, you're saying an AR-15 can shoot 150 rounds in 15 seconds? So would it have a 150 round magazine? What would that, hold on, let me ask, let's be specific.
I want one of them 150
What would that magazine
magazines.
look like, 150 round magazine?
Exactly like the magazines that Las Vegas police officers pulled out of that hotel room. They had 50 and 100
They
round
were
magazines, and that
150
weapon was
round.
capable.
Oh.
No,
and
50
so you
and
can
100
fire.
round
It
magazines.
is physically possible to fire. It's not. I mean, these are rhetorical questions. You don't know what you're talking about.
He's going to fall apart.
I know that you were a police officer. You claim to have been.
Yeah.
No AR-15 can fire 150 rounds in 15 seconds. That's untrue. And if you believe it is true, then you're not qualified to have a conversation about guns.
None of them are. That's the point. Starting off with Creepy Sleepy, Sleepy Slimy Sloppy Joe, who just a couple days ago was telling everybody out there, there's no reason to have a gun that can have 100 rounds in a chamber. Stupid stuff like that. So now here's this guy, started off real confident, y'all, had ads and everything out there for ignorant people. That's right. Emotional, impulsive, ignorant people who don't know what the heck they're talking about. So now that guy jumped out there and he jumped on the wrong show. Now his career's about to get destroyed.
People are laughing at you because you're ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. No, that's just untrue.
We take exactly the word of the police officers in Las Vegas who I trust, who ran into that room to save people down below and found the weapons that were modified with bump stocks. They would allow
so they say an AR-15 can shoot. What do you think would happen to the barrel in 15 seconds if
you
put 150 rounds? It would melt. So I guess my point is, if you're going to take on the NRA and be Mr. Tough, I was a cop guy, maybe you should know what you're talking about, but you don't. You're putting something on television that's demonstrably wrong, that's physically impossible, and all of your voters are like, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. He was a cop, but you don't know. So maybe you should apologize for it.
I'm not apologizing.
Right now, he knows he is getting destroyed. Tucker, not come on, Tucker. Look, Tucker, why you doing? My kids watching, Tucker. So here he is now trying to negotiate. Started off real tough.
This doesn't work. I'm just trying to. Oh, okay. I think you should apologize for saying something that's factually untrue.
Have not changed the conversation. We need new folks
that's
to
why
take
I'm not being polite. I'm trying to get a real conversation going
you didn't want that.
But you don't know what you're talking about, so maybe you shouldn't be in a position to make decisions because you don't understand the issue. Because you just told me with a straight face that an AR-15 can fire 150 rounds in 15 seconds. Ooh, surprise, it can't. So maybe you should admit that and move on to something you understand. Would you do that?
Tucker,
that was the very moment he knew he had effed up. He knew right there, my career is over. It started and begun at the same time, ended rather at the same time. So now that dude went on the worst show to try to push legislation like this. Tucker, now he's sitting there, Tucker. I want to get back to a peaceful conversation now, Tucker. Forget the cuss words I was using in the beginning. Tucker, don't talk to me like that, Tucker. Well, Tucker ain't having it.
We're not. This is exactly the type of arguments that don't get us where we need to be.
Oh, now
we need.
Now.
Oh, it's not like F the NRA. That's the kind of argument we need. I thought politeness didn't work, tough guy.
Yeah, whatever happened? Started off F the NRA. That's right. It's shock value. Look at that. I'm edgy. I'm willing to go out there and say something that nobody else is willing to say. That's right. Sometimes you can't be gentle. You got to go in hard on him, Tucker. Now look at him. That dude done turned into pudding. Tucker, man. Come on, Tucker. Why you doing this, Tucker? You know you're ruining me, right, Tucker? I know. Good, because you were about to ruin somebody's life if this crap would have got passed.
Politeness is not working so far. If you woke up on Mother's Day, don't have your kid
You know what works? Actually, facts work. Why don't you get some facts? Oh, Pat, do you like this new mode of communication?
Get out of here.
F the NRA, Pat.
It'd be great to have. It'd be great
Learn
to have a
something about
conversation
guns and
when
get
the
back to me.
NRA's
Interview over. Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, and that applies to every single Democrat that promotes this crap that we just watched. That applies to all of them. They don't know what they're talking about, but they want to make decisions for your life. So now you better be an expert on whatever you're trying to say. Well, we need to go ahead and do this. We need to make sure that these things are banned. When they came out there with all of this COVID mess, and I'm saying you're changing the course of history. You are destroying people's lives based off of what you don't know. Whenever you get questioned, we're relying on the professionals that we've put in power and then allowed to be the only source of credible information. And we're also relying on the manipulation of people on the internet not being able to combat us. We're relying on censorship. We're relying on suppression of videos. We're relying on persecution and new terms that we made up called dis and misinformation. We're relying on all of that stuff. Because that's exactly what they did, because they didn't know nothing about any of that stuff. They just went out there and said, shut down this, shut down that, close this up, force people to do this, and didn't stop to say, wait a minute, I'm making decisions that will destroy humans' lives. You think they care? No. See? So now let's go ahead and move on. We done had our little segment about the raggedy behind Democrat socialists that are out there trying to get your stuff but don't know what they're talking about. And the little minions, Democrat socialists in training on all these college campuses. But let's get to some real folks like this woman who I love so much. Carrie Lake, y'all. Listen to this.
Our nation, our children's future is on the verge of collapse.
Yep. And we just saw examples of that, Carrie Lake, in the beginning of my show. When you got those kids on college campuses acting a fool, you got those kids up there in Harvard that now they're scared. Now they're scared after they came out and supported Hezbollah. And now all of a sudden they like, what? We might not be able to get jobs after this so we can finish destroying the country. Okay, we're sorry. We had nothing to do with that.
We're not in tenuous times, we're in dangerous times.
Yes, we
and
are.
while it would be real fun to go back to my past life where things were easy,
You can't go back.
and I would plan vacations with my family and we would do fun stuff, we've got 1 year to save this country. And we got to go in a different direction, people. We got to go away from Joe Biden. It's not.
I just almost choked. And I can't have that. I can't have y'all see me choking on the internet. Then I'll be immortalized forever. Y'all be laughing at me. It'd be memes forever. Did you see that meme when Kevin water? I can't have that. No. Did you hear what she said? Can't go back. That's what it comes down to, guys. Our eyes have been opened. And we see the direction that they're taking our country in. And we know that we can't go back. We got 1 year. I've been saying it forever. If this election somehow gets stolen, because that's the only way they're going to win, rigged, something like that, we are going to be left with very, very few options on the future of our country. And at the amount of damage that the Democrats are doing to the country in record-breaking time, she says 1 year, imagine the damage that will be done in this 1 year. That's even crazier because in 2.5 to 3 years, they have taken us from the top to the almost the bottom. And so I'm so proud of this woman because she's given up her comfort. Same thing with Trump. When you have a cushy lifestyle that you can just enjoy and ride off into the sunset, but yet you choose the hardest path, that right there deserves much credibility. That's why I love Carrie Lake. And what is she doing?
Working out. It's not working out.
It
And
ain't
I will
working
tell
out.
you what, I will stop the push toward communism and I will be the most pro-America senator in the entire country.
I love you, Gary. I love you, Gary. And then my man Benny put together this little compilation right here. Thank you, Benny, of Trump and Biden having a little sit-down conversation, how it would look. I want to go and put my disclaimer. Okay, this is not the actual footage. This is a mashup between two different interviews. So don't say it was altered. We always altered. It's a parody.
with the greatest economy in the history of our country.
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective.
The unemployment numbers for African Americans, for Asian Americans, for Hispanic Americans, virtually every number was the best.
Inflation rate month to month was just an inch.
What? We had the best stock market price ever.
I got that. But guess what we are? We're in a position where for the last several months it hasn't spiked.
You know what? She deleted 33,000 emails.
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera.
Because that should have been the conversation. He shouldn't have been talking about Trump when he was saying all those lies right there. See, because that original clip was him trying to say that Trump was irresponsible. Not me. Not the man with all of these files that goes all the way back to when I was a senator. Not me. Not the guy who stashed them in my garage next to my Corvette. Not me. No. Not me, the one who was sharing classified information with my raggedy behind crackhead son so that we can manipulate stuff going on in Ukraine and other countries. Not me. No, not me. Trump. But this is how the conversation should have went about Hillary Clinton. Yeah, Joe should have been talking about crooked because God knows what was in those 30,000 emails she deleted.
And it's just totally irresponsible.
I think it's disgraceful what she's done.
It was.
I mean, honest to God, that's all I think.
The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign.
Well, that was big.
Look, they spied on my campaign. They got caught.
Don't.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught.
Yes.
It was our Justice Department.
Yes.
It was Obama and Biden.
Oh.
It's wrong.
Thank you. It's wrong. He was right in there. He was right in there. Sitting there like, well, hey, we should get Mike Flynn on the Logan Act. Right in there. The same group of people said they didn't know nothing about this investigation. They knew about Hillary's plans. They sat there in concoction a strategy to go after Trump. And that's why I hope when he gets elected again, he destroys them all. Not in a way like they're doing, but I'm talking about revealing what they have done and going after them with every bit of power that he has to do it. Because they're just hoping right now that he gets back in and forgets that they all plotted and destroyed people's lives so they could stop this man from winning, keep him from re-election, and try to get him out while he was governing. Unbelievable.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
So wrong.
I think what happened was disgraceful. Should never have happened.
Think about that.
Should never have happened.
Think of how that has changed everything.
What kind of ice cream? What flavor ice cream do you have?
You think I would tell you if I knew exactly what it would be?
Because I keep
forgetting. You just come in here with that negative attitude.
And it's much too early to make that kind of decision.
And when I finish, this country will be in a position like it hasn't been maybe ever.
I'm more optimistic than I've been in a long time.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Because right now, that's the only optimism we got to look forward to when it comes down to leaders. Yeah, that chocolate chip. Somebody said chocolate chip. You're right about that. And he probably don't remember he said that. What was my favorite kind of ice cream again? The what? Oh, I said that chocolate. Yeah, give me some of that. So now here's Trump being serious about what's really going on. Because Carrie Lake hit it right on the head when she said we got 1 year. And that's pushing it. Because God knows what could happen with the guy we just listened to in that mashup debate. With him supposedly being our president, God knows what could happen in a year. So here's Trump being serious about it. And let's see what the media does after he gets done saying something like this.
In very, very grave danger of having a World War III.
True.
And this will be a war. This will be a war of obliteration. This will not be a war with army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. This is the real deal. And we have a man that he can't even walk off a stage. He finishes his speech. He looks, well,
that's true.
He has no idea. You know, there's always a stair there, a stair here. You could even walk off the front, jump or something. He usually walks to the back into a wall.
Look, there he is. He's doing it. He's doing it.
He walks right into a wall. Can't walk off the stage. Can't put two sentences together. And yet he's negotiating with President Xi of China, who, when I say he's very smart, the press, that's a lot of press back there.
Fake news?
That's a lot. For him to negotiate with President Xi of China is like my high school football team playing let's see, what's a good team nowadays? Philadelphia.
So now, y'all heard Trump say that, and I've heard Trump say this many times, where he says, other leaders are smarter than our leaders. Now, he's not complimenting those other leaders. He's recognizing his enemy. He's recognizing his enemy's intelligence. He's recognizing that they shouldn't be taken lightly. He's recognizing that they are out strategizing our dumb leaders. That's what he's doing. But let's see the interpretation. Now, I've heard Trump do this many times. Let's see the interpretation that the fake news and his enemies who want to destroy this man comes up with after hearing what Trump said about Hamas. Evil forces, man. These are some evil people.
And then 2 nights ago, I read all of Biden's security people. Can you imagine?
Biden's
National
security
defense people. And they said, gee, I hope Hezbollah doesn't attack from the north.
Okay.
Because that's the most vulnerable spot. I said, wait a minute. You know, Hezbollah is very smart. They're all very smart. The press doesn't like when they say it. You know, I said that President Xi of China, 1.4 billion people, he controls it with an iron fist.
That is true.
I said, he's a very smart man. They killed me the next day. I said he was smart. What am I going to say?
Now, I wanted to show y'all this in context so that you can then hear what the narrative is about what Trump said. Now, we all just listened to him say that people in the Biden administration came out and said, I hope they don't attack from whatever, I think the north or whatever. Now, if I'm the enemy, I'm going, wait a minute. They said, why shouldn't we attack that? He's telling us to be very vulnerable. Yes, okay, everybody attack from this. That's what I would do. It's not very smart to say that. I hope you don't punch me in my ribs. They're killing me. Okay. What do you think that person's going to do? Aim right for the spare ribs. That's what they're going to do. So now Trump is saying that the Biden administration is being outsmarted by these people. They're not dumb like the folks in our administration, but let's see how the media flips this. Now, this is an amazing example of how evil and corrupt the media is, along with some Republicans.
But Hezbollah, they're very smart. And they have a national defense minister or somebody.
I'm still blurry. Somebody said I'm still blurry and my voice is going in and out. I'm gonna come up with some. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna get this right. Y'all just hang in there with me for a little bit, okay? All right, we almost done anyway, but I want to make sure I clear up for the person who said that my voice is blurry and I'm going in. Somebody said I'm fine. Okay now? Okay. Unfortunately, you're dealing with live streams and the internet. You never know what's going on, and you know, the internet's always something. All right, so now y'all heard what Trump said, and then he even beats the media to the false news by saying they always come after me when I say that. Okay, they don't like when I say that. Hey, these cats are smart. They ain't dumb. Do you think Xi is dumb? And he's running a country of 1 point something billion people? You think a dummy could do that and have them all on lockdown? You think Putin's dumb? See, this is the point that Trump is making. But yet we stick dumb folks out there who's talking about, you know what, go outside and shoot two bucks up in the air on your double-barrel shotgun. See, we got folks doing that. And you got Xi is out there outsmarting us. You got Putin outsmarting us. And then, of course, we got them openly saying, now, I hope they don't attack from the north. And what did they do?
Hezbollah doesn't attack us from the north. So the following morning they attacked. They might not have been doing it, but if you listen to this jerk, you would attack from the north because he said that's our weak spot.
Truly.
Now, guys, did that sound like Trump was complimenting Hezbollah? Or did it sound like he was insulting the Biden administration? One, I mean, let's say we heard it in context. Now, you would think after hearing what these people said, everything we just listened to was not true. If you didn't watch Trump say this in the full context and you just turn on the TV and hear this.
Yesterday, an insane event where he was talking about
we're going to show
Barack Obama is actually running the government, criticizing Bibi Netanyahu, saying, I want to make sure I get the quote right, that Hezbollah is, quote, very smart.
See, you want to get that part. Yeah, let me get the quote right. But you didn't give the whole quote in context, right? I quote, Hezbollah is very smart. Do you think Trump would say that after how supportive he is with Israel? They love that man. They had him over there with the little yarmulke sama or whatever on the back of his head, touching the wall, all of that. And yet this man right here gets up there. Trump, quote, said Hezbollah is very smart. In what context? How? Was he complimenting them? Or was he insulting our dumb leaders?
Hezbollah. So that's the guy that they're defending right now.
Out of his mind. I mean, praising Hezbollah, you know, he out of his mind. And again, the fact that Republicans are embracing this guy is just absolutely crazy.
Do you see how dirty? Do you see how dirty and foul? We are living in a horrific time. But yet it's so eye-awakening because you're watching them do it. And they're just hoping and praying you didn't watch Trump's whole clip. But then going to try to demonize everybody that supports Trump. Now, if you are ignorant and you're like, I like Trump. What? Trump supports Hezbollah. That's exactly what they want you to think. Because they don't want you to follow up and see the whole thing in context. So now here's their little, nuggets right here. Trump praises Hezbollah. They're very smart. Chinese President Xi, very smart man. Russia President Vladimir, genius, savvy. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un, great leader. All of that. They want their audience left thinking that's what Trump is doing. They're trying to paint him as siding with all of the dictators, the same guy who stopped all the dictators from running rampant over the whole globe. The same guy as they sitting back talking about Hezbollah. Hezbollah was in check under Trump. Xi was in check under Trump. Okay, they were paying big time money. They weren't flying balloons all over the place. They weren't doing any of that under Trump. And then Russia was in check under Trump. He shut down their little pipeline and all of that stuff. And then Kim Jong-un stopped firing rockets and was meeting with Trump. There you have it. But yet, this is the garbage that these folks got the nerve to put out there and lie about it. But it gets worse. It's not just them, y'all.
It's absolutely crazy.
Mr. Trump also said last night that the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, backed by Iran, has been very smart. White House spokesman called that comment unhinged and sickening.
This is so disgusting to me, man. This is the stuff that makes me want to be like, I need that glove that Thanos had. I am inevitable. Get rid of all of the fake news, all of this crap. So now, these people are trying to say Trump praised Hezbollah. And then you get our sorry behind. And I hope these people's careers get destroyed after they get finished trying to run for president. They got the nerve to come out here and pretend to be dumb and side with the fake news narrative that Trump was praising Hezbollah.
The former president's comments
look at this sellout.
To be reckless and irresponsible. To refer to the terrorist organization Hezbollah as very smart.
And trying to act sincere, y'all. Trying to act sincere. Mike Pence is trash. I'm telling you, I wish I had a whole bucket of mud to throw on that dude. He is completely trash. I want that whole white head of hair to be covered in mud. This dude talking about to come out and praise Hezbollah. It's reckless. And now only people who didn't watch that, only people who didn't know that Mike Pence was a snake, a traitor, would believe this. Only folks who want rhinos in power would believe this. This dude is actually out there saying this, and he knows that Trump was not praising Hezbollah. And I hope he pays a serious political price for it, worse than he already has.
Comprehensible to me.
It's comprehensible.
Hezbollah is not very smart.
Neither are you.
They're evil.
No, you're evil. So now, you hear this, guys? Hezbollah's not very smart. They're evil. So evil people can't be smart? I mean, most of the time, evil geniuses become powerful because they're evil and smart at the same time. But here he is. They're not smart. They're evil.
Well, let's make it clear.
Look
He's
at this.
Fool.
Jabba. Y'all see Jabba? Me, Sir Jabba. Han Solo. So here's Jabba on here, vomiting up all kind of other garbage. Listen to this guy.
He's a fool. Only a fool would make those kind of comments. Only a fool would give comments that could give aid and comfort to Israel's adversary.
Only fool would say, Mr. Jabba say. Only a fool. No, you're the fat fool just sitting on TV lying about President Trump. Do you hate him that much? What kind of raggedy behind Republicans are these? Look at Nikki Haley. Watch this. Watch this. All trying to benefit off of the fake news, lying on Trump, and they know it. And I hope she pays it too.
Can't be congratulating Hezbollah. You can't be congratulating the Communist Party like he did. You can't go and criticize a country that's just seen the worst devastation since the Holocaust.
There's related to Israel or Hezbollah or any of that. You don't congratulate or give any credit to murderers. Period. You don't.
Do you think that's what Trump was doing? Oh, now, what's going to be interesting is if Trump wins and gets back in power, I wonder what all these people are going to be saying. That's what I want to know. All of these raggedy behind rhinos who tried to take advantage of the fake news narratives, they might as well be Democrats. They might as well be Democrats. And they're lying on Trump. If he wins, I wonder if they're going to flip it like Lindsey Graham did when Trump won. He's my friend now. Yeah, out there talking about this guy is anti-Christian, he's anti-whatever. And then when Trump won, he's my buddy. I support Trump. Then, of course, threw him under the bus. And then when Trump went down there to North Carolina or wherever Lindsey's from, had the nerve to come on stage. Aren't we excited about President Trump? And got his butt booed. I hope they all get exposed. I don't want to see any one of them trying to cower up to Trump talking about, I'm glad you back in power, man. I don't want to hear none of that. So that goes to show the depth in which the fake news and our raggedy dang on Republicans are willing to go to try to discredit and disgrace Trump. And I hope to get exposed. I'm exposing it on my channel, and I hope every other commentator is doing the same thing. And I hope they keep an archive of what these people said and did. I hope they do. Just like this woman. Look at this woman. Unbelievable. They let this chick go after and prosecute Donald Trump. Look at this footage I found.
President who sits in the White House. That president, because he's not my president, he's an illegitimate president.
Illegitimate.
His days are numbered.
Campaigning.
We've got to get ready to mobilize.
Mobilize.
And we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated. We will all rise up and resist
All rise up.
this man.
Resist this man. Ultimately, we'll bring him down.
I'm going to give you the same level of respect that you gave to President Obama, and that is absolutely no respect at all. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey!
Donald Trump has got to go. Lock him up. Now, remember when Trump was talking about Hillary and we were all saying lock her up and they were saying this is crazy right here. Trump talking about going after his own political opponents and this is right crazy. This chick was campaigning on this. In what world do you sit back and watch this lady campaign and go out there and cheer on going after him saying what I'm going to do all of this stuff to him, and then you allow her to do it as if her motives are pure and innocent? You're telling me nobody's able to say, hey, you should be, recusing yourself. You got footage all over the internet saying that when I get elected, I'm going to get this dude. I'm getting him out of office. You weren't saying he did this, he did that, he committed this crime. You were saying basically he's an evil guy and I'm going to get in office and find all kind of stuff to destroy this man. And now she's in office and she's doing it. And everybody's pretending like this is a legitimate investigation. Nobody's saying, hey, you should be investigated. Hey, you know what? All of this footage you left on the internet shows that you had a predetermined prosecution, premeditated. And yet you got the media, you got Democrats, and you got even Republicans pretending that this is normal and okay. I cannot stand when I see Republicans get out there like we're about to see real quick, but dang on it, always running out of time. But I can't stand when I see Republicans get out and try to legitimize this investigation. We're going to go ahead and let it play out and see how it's a false investigation. It's a persecution, not a prosecution. This right here is what we're trying to prevent the country from becoming tyrannical, from becoming a communist country, from becoming a banana republic. And yet we got Republicans not doing everything in their power to stop this mess. And we're about to see why. because they're part of the uniparty. We're about to expose which ones are the uniparty ones and which ones aren't. And I got a rule of thumb. If you haven't been called an extremist MAGA Republican, you're probably a part of the uniparty. You're innocuous, you're just quiet, you're just going to get along, I don't want any trouble. Or, even worse, you are a secret agent, basically. You're paid opposition. Another rule of thumb, if you have not been called an insurrectionist, then you're probably a rhino. Okay, see, it should be a badge of honor to be called an insurrectionist if you are a Republican congressman or woman. Because guess what? You're an insurrectionist to the Democrats because you're willing to go in and blow up and destroy what they have started and what they've been doing. But you're not a real insurrectionist. They're labeling you that because you're not paid opposition. You're not a part of the uniparty. So we got Jim Jordan right about now who's received a lot of opposition. A lot of coward Republicans voted secretly, y'all. I want a public vote. So let's see what's going on with this before we get out of here. Yeah.
For a critical vote on who might be their next speaker, and Congressman Jim Jordan out of Ohio might hold the gavel or might not. It's not a sure thing. Chad Pergram's been watching all the movement. Where are we now, Chad?
Well, good morning. Jim Jordan worked over the weekend to court the votes for speaker, but he's still believed to be well short of the necessary votes to win. His allies are trying to narrow the deficit before a midday vote tomorrow. However, Jordan did score a major win this morning. House Armed Services Committee Chairman Mike Rogers is now for Jordan on...
Now, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Mike Rogers, the guy with that big old toupee sitting on his head, that guy? So wait, this is the same guy who wanted to fight, who was it, Matt Gaetz, when he was holding up the election for Kevin McCarthy? This is the same guy who got on TV talking about, I will not support Jim Jordan, but he's a representative in Alabama. Could it be that once he got exposed, the people in Alabama start pushing back and he said, uh-oh, okay, now even though I'm a rhino, I'm running a risk of having it stuck to me and having them primary me. So now he switches it up. This guy, now all of a sudden he's supporting Jim Jordan. Where'd that come from?
On Friday, Rogers adamantly opposed Jordan. There's part of a coalition of lawmakers teaming up to tap a bipartisan speaker. Desperation is now seeping through the House.
There are informal conversations that have been underway. When we get back to Washington tomorrow, it's important to begin to formalize those discussions. It's time to end the Republican Civil War.
It's about the math. Jordan can only lose 4 votes and still become speaker. Some Republicans oppose Jordan because of what they interpret as strong-arm tactics.
No, what they interpret as real legitimate Republicans taking over the House. Messing up the uniparty. That's what they interpret it as, because there's no real reason to oppose Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan has been doing stunning work since he's got into Congress. But yet, all of a sudden, they are saying, oh, well, you know, even though Jim didn't start this whole thing, Matt Gaetz did it. Jim actually was like, well, I say we keep Kevin McCarthy. But then when Jim gets nominated, now they flip and say, well, we just going to go ahead and oppose Jim Jordan, who I don't know why they have a problem with him, but just because, just strong arm tactics. So then who do you suggest? Hakeem Jeffries? This is unbelievable.
Another candidate for speaker could emerge tomorrow.
Some breaking news. Dr. Ahmed, we'll have you back next week, but we've just received word that Steve Scalise has withdrawn his name from the speaker's race. So I'm going to ask this again. What did the folks who got rid of McCarthy actually get from this?
He was directly...
Fake Fox. So Fake Fox and many others are opposing Jim Jordan. Now, whenever you oppose what the Democrats oppose, that lets you know we're on the right track and you're on the wrong one. That lets me know you're the rhino. When you side with these raggedy folks who now look what they got to say about Jim.
In the right-wing coup that sought to overturn the 2020 election.
Jim was involved in that? I didn't know that.
Every single turn. Jim Jordan has prioritized politics, power, fear, division, and hate over the American people.
Then we got the right one, baby. When you see these Democrats out there taking time out of their day to launch a full-blown attack against Jim Jordan, that lets me know he's the man. When you start seeing these rhinos surface and oppose him, and they do it in secret, but yet, oh, wait, we're taking a public vote? I actually like Jim Jordan. This right here weeds all of these people out. It exposes a whole bunch of people. It exposes the fake, funky people on Fox. It exposes the Democrats, which we already know what they're about. But most of all, it exposes our raggedy behind paid opposition Republicans.
He has used his committee gavel to advance right-wing conspiracies while undermining the very institution that he
Jim,
serves.
you in our crowd
and
now.
He will inflict even more harm if he is allowed to have the speaker's gavel. Every Republican who casts their vote for him is siding with an insurrectionist against our democracy.
Y'all hear that? Jim is in the club. He's in the insurrectionist club, y'all. He done made it, y'all. That means he's legit. You're not a legit Republican if you ain't been called an insurrectionist by the real insurrectionists. See, the real insurrectionists, once they call you the insurrectionist, you know you have been approved. You have met the bar. So now, Jim Jordan is an insurrectionist, y'all. So yeah, any rhino that votes against the insurrectionists are really rhinos. See, so they went ahead and sealed his fate because I'm saying, yeah, that's good. If y'all calling him an insurrectionist, then I support him.
That's what I've asked people to say. Look, if you're going to be against this, then you need to have a valid reason. Maybe Steve's for a policy that you're against. You just can't stand with that. That's fine. I understand that kind of argument. Of course, that's not their arguments. Their arguments are they're very emotional. It's about process. And my rhetorical question is always
processing.
How many of your constituents give a shit about the process that occurred yesterday? They don't.
No, I do.
They care about policy. They care about wins for conservatives, and that's what you should care about. Your vote is for your constituents. It's not for your personal grievances. But that's unfortunately what I keep seeing. So,
do you think?
Okay, eye patch. You're eye patch. So here he is talking about somebody that don't care about the process. Yeah, I care about the process. I want to know who's the rhinos. See, right now, as Carrie Lake said earlier in my show, we got 1 year, man. We don't have time to be fooling around with dang on rhinos. Okay, paid opposition. We need hardcore Republicans. So I don't want these funky behind Republicans hiding behind, closed doors voting. I want the process to be out in the open. I want to see who's the rhinos and who isn't, period. And then he had the nerve to say they should be caring about what the will of the people. Well, the will of the people overwhelmingly want Jim Jordan to be the House Speaker. But for some reason, these Republicans act like they don't know the will of the people and they're just going to go ahead and oppose him. But it looks like that raggedy dude in the beginning got the message who talked about, I will not support Jim Jordan. So apparently, eye patch, he didn't get the message from his people. Hopefully his people will come out and give him the blues too.
He's going to do for the Republican Party chances of holding on to leadership in the majority when it looks like you're the ringleader of a circus led by Matt Gaetz, who likes to blow things up but not offer any new ideas. Are you happy following Matt Gaetz? Is that your leader?
You would think you was watching CNN right here. You would think this was Don Lemon. Fake crapper. Anderson Pooper. Joyless Reed, one of them. Listen to this.
I'm not following Matt Gaetz. I made my own decision. I didn't ask Matt.
But if Matt Gaetz didn't challenge, you weren't going to challenge.
Let him talk.
Do what?
If Matt Gaetz didn't stand up, you weren't going to challenge. You know that.
I believe I would have.
Oh, come on. Please, you were praying about it 1 minute. The next minute, you're going to lead an insurgency?
So you don't think that praying about it's important? Is that what you're saying?
One minute you're praying about how you're going to vote with Matt Gaetz.
Brian, you're killing me. Brian Kill Me is killing me. This man's out there. Come on. See, now, do you think this guy's trying to hear what this guy has to say? You think Brian Kill Me right there don't have a motive? You think this is all about asking questions? No. This man is fighting to keep the Republic establishment intact.
Gaetz. And the next minute you're going to lead an insurgency?
Listen, you got a predetermined answer to everything.
Yes,
I have an opinion about what's going on. Do you have an opinion too?
And you talk over me every time I try to
make a point. Make your point.
The point is that we're $33 trillion in debt. This speaker was woefully lacking in leadership skills. He always placed the blame somewhere else. America is going to be better off with new leadership. That's the bottom line.
And who is it?
Look at
it. Possibly could be Steve Scalise. It could be Elise Stefanik. It could be Roger Williams out of Texas. It could be Mark Green out of Tennessee.
They all supported Kevin McCarthy, including the most conservative guy I know, Jim Jordan. Why are you smarter than Jim Jordan and the 210 plus Republicans? Why are you smarter?
I represent my district, brother. And why are you smart?
Unlike what you want them to do, right, Brian Kilmeade? Huh? I represent my district. That's how it should be ran. See, honestly, I'm leaning towards saying, hey, man, when y'all make some serious legislative decisions, how do you know what your people want? Is there a way that we can all go ahead and they can post something online and we register voters could say, yay, 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 yay. So then all of these people can't get up there and say, well, I'm doing what I think is best for my people, versus all your people said whatever. Everybody who voted for these people should have some type of ability to do a survey or something about everything that they decide. So they can just sit back and say, wow, I decided to do this. And all the people who voted for me, 90% of them said, don't do it. But hey, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Because that's how these folks are operating up there. And Brian Kilmeade is helping.
Smarter than me. You're condemning me because I stand up on my own, and that's
I'm not
what
condemning
I do.
you. I'm questioning you. You don't like being questioned?
You're being MSNBC.
The line of questioning is very negative, and you know that, and I know that. And when this is all over with, and we have a new speaker and we're running smooth, let's have this conversation again.
Oh, because look at this now. Look, Brian Kilmeade. Now that the Republicans are starting to tap out and starting to realize, okay, all right, now we might have to go public and decide we're going to support Jim Jordan or we're going to expose ourselves as rhinos. See, so that same Brian Kilmeade now is sitting there listening to the guy who got ousted. And let's see what he has to say.
Is to get Jim Jordan elected speaker, get this Congress back moving again. It's one thing to get elected. It's another thing to govern. Look, I realize how difficult it is. It took me 15 rounds.
So Brian Kilmeade was loving this guy a minute ago. Now the same guy he was loving said, hey, let's get Jim Jordan elected. And why ain't Brian Kilmeade fussing with him? Brian Kilmeade saying, hey, you shut up. You know what? I mean, what's making you make the decision? Why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he doing that?
We were very successful in those times of being speaker. First time a Republican majority has passed a border security bill all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Right. We passed the make us energy independent. We passed Bill of Rights. Right. We cut more than $2 trillion when the Republicans were in the majority. They actually added $1 trillion of spending. So, I mean, we've had a lot of successes. We've got to find a way to get back instead of allowing 8 people for personal purposes to join Democrats to disrupt America.
Where's all the hostility? That's what I want to know. Fake Fox. Oh, and this is the guy with the comb over. This is the guy with the fake, full-blown fake wig on top of his head who said he would rather vote for Democrats than Republicans.
This man was saying, I would rather have Democrats, and he said this on the record, come and tell us what they would give us to vote for Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker. Now, what does that mean? Hakeem Jeffries is a cutout for Nancy Pelosi. That means that Republicans would rather vote.
I'm Jim Jordan. Here's the point.
Look at that.
No. Why not?
Because I'm a rhino. Mike Rogers. Are you going to support Jim Jordan? No. Why not? Because I'm a rhino. That's what he should have said. But I've for Kevin McCarthy. So this guy right here.
Some Republicans would rather have Nancy Pelosi, Republicans, as Speaker of the House than Jim Jordan. So that's a very dangerous game.
It is.
What does that mean? That means that these people are compromised. That means that these people are bought and sold.
And that's how you expose them. You see that guy right there with that Lego comb over right there? Every single one of these people, all these Republicans need to be on record admitting that I oppose Jim Jordan. For what reason? For what reason? We know we need a House Speaker. Jim's the most qualified and the most desired by the people. And yet you got them out there even discussing the possibility of siding with Democrats. I'm glad that Matt Gaetz did this, because what this did is ruffle the feathers and expose all the soot that's sitting down at the bottom of the swamp. The water looked all calm on the top. Matt Gaetz got down there and started going to work. And now all you see is all of this soot rise to the top like this bum. And that soot right there that we're looking at had the nerve to go, oh crap, my people don't like this. Oh, I now all of a sudden got a revelation. I now support Jim Jordan.
That they despise you, that they despise the electorate.
What I've seen in Jim Jordan is someone who will make the principal objective
of speakership, uniting a disparate caucus with a lot of people who really dislike one another and do not have muscle memory of working together. That's going to mean everyone's going to have to give, and that's going to mean there are going to be things that Jim Jordan says and does that I'm not going to like, that this audience isn't going to like, and that you aren't going to like.
Yeah, Matt.
Jim Jordan as Speaker will not be the same as Jim Jordan as Judiciary Committee Chairman, and you've already seen that Jim Jordan as Judiciary Committee Chairman is different than Jim Jordan, Freedom Caucus founder.
Thank you.
So let's acknowledge that. Let's put that out. But here's what I will say.
What?
Jim Jordan is as good of a man as I have ever met in this process. He is godly. He is humble. He is loyal. He is honest. And he is conservative. All of his conservative wishes, dreams, and fantasies aren't going to come through in a speakership with a 4-seat majority. You see people like Mike Lawler and Nicole Malliotakis and Dusty Johnson and Brian Fitzpatrick endorsing Jim Jordan, not because they agree with his ideology or his viewpoint on,
but because they are afraid of getting primaried. That's how you get these rhinos in line. But I wouldn't even let them off the hook there. If they were willing to go ahead and be funky and sneaky behind closed doors, that doesn't make them legit when they have to go ahead and submit because they've been exposed. That still lets us know who the rhinos are. So still, primary them. Every one of them. I don't care if they are at a revelation in the middle of the night. We all should support Jim Jordan. Now that all my people are upset, they're not going to change who they really are. They've shown you who they really are. When you have them all be put on record to support or don't support something that you know that the people all want them to support, you now identified the rhinos. So just because they made a quick adjustment to stay in power because they've been exposed, don't mean they're legit. Primary them. That's my suggestion.
Particular things throughout the years, but they believe in his leadership style. So that's what you're getting, an honest leadership style that is not beholden to the lobbyists and special interests.
People, rather than actually changing this town, is acceptable, and it is not. Jim Jordan is a strong leader. He should be the Speaker of the House. Jim Jordan represents the American people who want to change this town. And right now, the people who want the status quo are pushing back. I want to be very clear. I stand alongside Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan should continue this fight all the way through. I'm going to stand alongside him on the...
Gregory said I should go on to Tucker's new show. I should. Please, Gregory, write Tucker and say bring Kevin from Kevin's Corner on to discuss these matters. They ain't going to. Maybe it'll help my YouTube channel grow beyond 186,000 that's been stuck there for 4 years. Who knows? Who knows?
Floor. We need to elect him Speaker of the House. And if a bunch of appropriators and a defense establishment bureaucrats want to try to fight that, then it's game on. It's time for the American people to win this battle rather than the swamp. That's what's actually going on, Sean.
And it looks like Fox is a part of that swamp. And it looks like many other Republicans are a part of that swamp. Many. And we as a party will not be as successful as we need to when it comes down to turning this country around if we cannot rid ourselves of the paid opposition, the rhinos. If we can't get rid of them, they're always going to side with something stupid. They're never going to implement or exercise their complete power and authority. They will play dumb. They will play passive. They will pretend to take the moral high ground. I mean, there's no reason why Trump should still be under investigation by any of these people. The Republican, Matt Gaetz, he showed how they could have all stopped it. You don't think the Democrats would have done that? If they felt that one of their leaders was being under investigation and they figured out a way to shut down those investigations, they would have did that even if their leader was guilty. They would have done it. But our rhinos, all these wonderful suggestions. All of the legitimate MAGA Republicans who came in and said, we need to impeach right away. What are we waiting on? And you had all these Republicans, not yet, it's too soon. And just said, what are you waiting on? How much evidence do you need? Why are you saying it's too soon? I mean, you can't read the writing on the wall. You can't look at that evidence and say, man, that dude's corrupt. You can't see our border wide open and come to the conclusion that mucus is done this on purpose. You can't see your own constituencies getting persecuted and targeted by the DOJ, and you have not started articles of impeachment on him, dang on Garlic, and the FBI director, Corrupt Ray. You haven't started impeachment on these people, but yet you have hearings just revealing all of the corruption, the lies, all of the underhanded tactics that they're doing, all of the whistleblowers. And I'm saying only rhinos would prevent this. If y'all knew the danger that our country was in, you would act accordingly. This is not time to act like, well, we just wait it out and see what happens. Would you do that if your house was on fire? If one room was on fire, did you think the whole house was going to stop burning? Do you think, well, let's wait it out and see if this fire will go out on its own in this one room? That fire will spread and eventually burn down the whole house. And these idiots are sitting back just allowing the house to be burned down. And when they're exposed, they need to be primaried. I don't like these secret meetings where they vote in backdoor rooms and stuff. Put them out there on blast, man. Expose them. Hopefully we can get rid of enough of them where we can take back the country. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Hate to have to go over, but I was mad about this nonsense, y'all. The way they be lying and stuff makes me mad. That's why I'm sorry. So now, with that being said, make sure you hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on other platforms. That number right there, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that, I'm going to take some time out tonight since I got a little extra energy to go ahead and accept all the people who've done that. And if you are a new subscriber, make sure you let me know in the comments so this way I can go and check and see, because the people who told me 2 or 3 days ago, I'm about to go and check tonight to see if you're in there. If you're not, I'm going right back to YouTube's mouth, right in their mouth, and say, okay, all right, now what? Yeah, I got 4 people who said they subscribe. Where they at? Where they at? You keep telling me, oh, you know what? No, we don't do that stuff. Yes, you do. That's why I'm stuck at 186. And you can help out by supporting and participating in my little fundraiser, which the link to do that is right before below this video. Okay. So, yep, it done reset. I think this is day 3, perhaps. So if you guys can participate or will participate in that, that'd be great. I appreciate it. Don't forget, these are all converted into podcasts, so you can listen to them on your streaming platform for podcasts, and subscribe to my alternative channel, Stop and Think About It. And I think that might be it, with the exception of follow me on Rumble and the Jungle. And thank you, Dawn, for everything you do. And thank you. She said, get well. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get well. Once I get well, ooh, I'm coming back like I came to bring the pain, hardcore to the brain. That's right. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Let's get out of here, y'all, to my funky jam. I rock the planet, beating my chest like a what? Got it round your throats. I know you see the 8s. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. See y'all next time. Kevin's Corner, which is tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Take care.